The natural gas pipeline that carries Russian gas to Germany has been closed for scheduled maintenance, but Europe is bracing for a possible extended closure amid the standoff between Kremlin and Europe over the former's invasion of Ukraine. Our Eastern James.
According to operator Nord Stream AG on Monday, maintenance on Nord Stream 1, the largest single pipeline carrying Russian gas to Germany, has begun, halting the flow of the resource for the next 10 days. On the same day, Russia's gas giant Gazprom notified Italy that it would be reducing the amount of gas supplied to the country from 32 million cubic meters of gas per day to 21 million. The European continent, which relies heavily on Russian gas, is now on edge as it fears Russia could extend scheduled maintenance to restrict the European gas supply further. This means plans to fill gas storage facilities ahead of winter will be in disarray, while the situation could heighten a gas crisis that has prompted emergency measures from governments and painfully high bills for consumers. The latest halt in Russian gas has also prompted some countries to brace for the worst and seek alternatives to ease reliance on Russia.
Let's prepare for a total cut-off of Russian gas. That remains the most likely scenario. This requires us to accelerate our energy independence, to accelerate filling up our stocks, to build a floating LNG plant in the Havre quickly, and to make ourselves stop spending 2 or 3 years doing something that other nations do in 6 months.
Despite the geopolitical situation in the region, Russia dismissed claims they are using oil and gas to exert political pressure, saying the maintenance shutdown was a regular, scheduled event, adding that no one was inventing the need for any repairs. Russia has also cut off gas supplies to several European countries that didn't comply with a request by Moscow for all energy payments to be made in rubles. Since June, Gazprom has cut gas flows through Nord Stream 1 to just 40% of the pipeline's capacity, but cited a delay in the return of equipment being serviced by Germany's Siemens Energy. Watchers say despite calls for less dependence on Russian gas, a sudden cut in supply would mean dark days to come for many European countries, leaving some to believe the worst is yet to come, with the winter season mere months away. 이승재, 아리랑 뉴스.
The worst is yet to come, man. Them dark days are here. All right. First and foremost, to give all praise to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shal, Yahweh Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, those who were well and who taught me this truth. All right. Salutations to you, brothers, stiffly pushing this one truth. And shalom to the rest of the 1/3 remnant of men, women, and children of the nation of Israel seeking salvation at the hands of Yahweh Shai as we await the second Exodus. All right. As well as the speckled bird, which are Israelites who may look like the heathen nations. And yeah, man, this information, just breaking news, just went out about a day ago. All right. And ultimately, Russia has cut off the Nord Stream 1 pipeline, which is the largest pipeline supplying gas to Germany. All right. Now, Germany, all right, you kind of find out, is the largest population over there in Europe. They had the biggest economy, the biggest consumers of gas. All right. So they're about to be affected heavy by this shutdown. OK, you got Europe that is bracing for this shutdown to last longer than just a scheduled 10-day maintenance. All right. And ultimately, if you heard in this video that Russia has been trying to get those European countries to pay their energy bill with the Russian ruble. All right. They've been trying to get them to pay with the Russian ruble. All right. As opposed to the US dollar. OK, so they've been trying to get them to switch over, man. But you see, this is hella strategic. All right. On behalf of Russia. All right. Because BRICS have been setting up the global reserve currency, as we know. All right. Dealing with Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. OK, and we know Iran and Argentina. All right. Have applied to join that group. So what this is showing you, man, is that the US dollar and the U.S. dominance of the world has come to an end. All right. Just like I said in the previous lesson, man, World War III has been underway. OK, so ultimately what you're witnessing is that Russia has Europe. All right. Western Europe in a trick bag. OK, because Europe, the EU and NATO have been biting the hand that's feeding them, literally. All right. Supplying them with that oil and gas. All right. So Russia is cutting them off, man. All right, all those sanctions that the EU and Babylon had put on Russia is backfired, man. Russia's economy is getting stronger. All right, and you got the BRICS nations that are looking to do away with these Western European countries. All right. So this is what I want to talk about, man, because you see, this shows you that Europe really is the bottomless pit. Okay, which, you know, the elders and apostles went into that, how Europe has they just lack natural resources, man. They lack natural resources. Okay. So for Russia to cut off that oil, all right, which is majority of the oil that Germany gets is from that pipeline. All right. So for them to cut that off, man, this is about to affect millions and millions of Europeans. You see, this is war, man. And like, you know, without a shadow of a doubt, all right, we're in these times where Western Europe is losing this war, man. They losing this war. Now, this is an article went out by CNN Business. All right, and it's titled, Europe is still confused about how to pay its Russian gas bills. All right, so like I mentioned earlier, and like I said in that video, because Russia is trying to get the European countries to pay with the ruble. All right, but a lot of them didn't want to do it. Okay, they was used to paying with the euro and the US dollar, and Russia's like, you know, those days is over with. All right, y'all gonna have to get with the program. All right, or y'all gonna have to face the consequences. Okay, which we see. They been warning about these blackouts. All right, they've been warning about these blackouts. They about to warn how a lot of these millions of people about to be without electricity. Okay, without heat in a winter. All right, without AC in a summer. Okay, they've been constantly been shoving this down to people's throats. And now you seeing, all right, where these warnings are turning into reality, man. That's the fact of the matter. It's like you can be warned so much. All right, till you just don't even get warned no more. All right, till you literally living in the times that you'd been warned about. All right, and that's what prophecy is all about, man. You see, we telling you a storm is coming. A storm is coming. Just like Noah was warning about the flood. All right, that all hell gonna break loose. And what are people doing? Lackadaisical, complacent. All right, not a care in the world. But guess what, man? You are seeing that they just told you in the video, these dark days are ahead. These dark days are here, man. And it's really about to get dark because they about to cut the lights out. All right. They about to cut the lights out. All right. And they're already warning over here in Babylon that they don't have the pieces, the materials, all right, to fix these different transformers and things when these grids start getting shut down. All right. So what you think gonna happen, man? Them lights gonna be cut out and they're gonna stay out. Okay. But nonetheless, going back over to the Europe, I want to grab a couple paragraphs. It says Europe can't make up its mind on how to pay for Russia natural gas imports that continue to fuel homes, businesses, and power stations. All right. So all these people, man, millions of people, all right, are about to be affected by this. All right. Businesses, you see, which is the times we're living in have already crippled the global economy, man. We're already in a recession. We're in a depression, man. All right. We're already in a depression because you got people not wanting to go back to work. Okay. You got wages that are not going up, but the price of living is going up. Okay. And you got shortages of everything. You see, that's all recipe for disaster, man. And that's why Sri Lanka, they ran a president out the damn country. All right. They ran a president out the country, man. And he had to step down because they tired of the fuel and food prices. You see, just going on over there in Peru. All right. So Southeast Asia, certain African countries, all right, are all feeling the heat, man. Everybody's feeling the heat. And what you're witnessing now is that because of this World War III situation, that these first world nations dealing with Europe, Babylon the Great, all right, are about to feel the heat too, man. Which they're already feeling the heat. But it's going to be to the point to where these first world countries are going to instantly turn into third world countries before your eyes, man. Because that's when you go into 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, all right, goes into the times that's about to be on the earth, all right, where you about to start seeing sedition, all right, everywhere. But you already seeing it, man. in these developing countries. All right, but you about to see it over here. Okay, this shit about to hit home. You see, because what's going to happen when Russia don't turn the pipeline back on? Okay, what's going to happen if they don't turn it back on, man? All right, like I said, this is tit for tat. All right, the EU and NATO got involved with a war that didn't concern them, and Russia, all right, naturally is going to respond to that. You see, they've been biting the hand that's feeding them, man. It says the confusion centers on the logistics of the payments themselves. Several European gas buyers have been preparing to work around the Kremlin's demand that gas bills be paid in rubles rather than the euros or dollars stipulated in contracts. You see that? So Russia's like, fuck the dollar, fuck the euro. All right, y'all about to get with my program. I'm going to cut y'all ass off. All right? That's pretty much what they telling them, man. So the dollar's through, man. And like the elder apostle Tahar said, that as we go to these stores and things, and you fill up your tank with gas, as everybody see that food and fuel has risen, all right, all the prices are going up really shows you that the dollar has decreased, all right? And that's what the elder apostle Tahar said, man. And it makes sense, you see? All right, and they even said that over here, all right, the Federal Reserve went into how the U.S. dollar would be the global reserve currency for the next 3 months. That's as far as they can put a time frame on it, man. The next 3 months. Which really, they've been optimistic and proudful and hopeful, okay? Because when you look around the world, you got these developing countries that are what? They're switching to China and Russia. They're ditching the U.S. dollar, man. And everybody sees it, okay? Everybody sees it, which is why, like I said earlier, Western Europe, all right, is losing this war, period. That's the prophecy. That's how it's prophesied to happen and go down, all right? So this shit's only going to continue to escalate, man. We in those beginning of sorrows that Yahushua warned about, okay? All right? It says, according to Russia's new payment mechanism, buyers in unfriendly countries must open 2 accounts at Gazprom Bank, one in euros and the second in rubles, from which payments for the gas would be made. You see that? They completely omitted the U.S. dollar from that, man. You see that? They completely removed the U.S. dollar from the situation. All right? They're like, y'all either going to pay in the euros or the rubles, which really, they're just going to switch it over to the rubles completely, man. Okay? Because, like I said, the BRICS is done with the Western powers being in control. Okay? So these unfriendly countries, which we know who they're talking about, Canada, Europe, the U.S., Australia, any of these, Edomite countries that's joint with Babylon the Great, man. They gonna have to switch over to the euro or the rubles, or it's gonna be all hell for them, man. You see? So this shutdown is supposed to last till what, the 21st? All right, which really, we can't be surprised if it go on longer than that. All right. We got to remain circumspect, all right? Which spec means to look and circum means around. So we got to keep looking around, man, and paying attention to these things that's going on in the world around us, all right? Because this is clearly showing us that the Most High is using these Russians, as well as the BRICS, their allies, to do away with Western Europe and Babylon the Great, man. Their time of global dominance and being big brother, all right, it's come to an end. All right. You got military analysts that see that if the U.S. is to get involved with Iran, with North Korea, with China, with Russia, all right, they just be stretched too thin, man. They be stretched too thin. They're not going to be able to defend, all right, from all these various angles. You see? So this is why you're really going to have certain European countries, all right, members of the EU that's going to back out. All right, members of NATO that's going to back out, which you see Turkey already doing that. Okay, Turkey's doing that. And I won't be surprised if Germany went out and did it. You see, because they got a population that they have to deal with, man. But they got to look out for their own countries. All right. You see, Babylon the Great has had a trap laid before them and they took the bait, man. So they getting involved with shit that don't concern them, all right? And it's only going to end bad for these Western European countries, okay? But with that, shalom to the next one.